It is Christine here with Gauge Girl Training, an online meal planning and coaching service. I'm a food scientist and chemical engineer, and I'm also the owner of Gauge Life Nutrition Supplements. And I have a couple quick announcements to make before we get into tonight's live discussion on the number one thing you need to stop doing if you want to be able to lose weight. And it's a big one. It's a really, really big one that most of you probably don't even realize that you are doing. So the first quick announcement is in congratulations and in honor of my Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl last night. I probably got 2 hours of sleep. I'm so excited. With that being said, I am running a huge blowout on Gauge Life and Gauge Girl, where all protein powders are only $29 until midnight tonight. So my whey protein isolate, the $99 good stuff, the vegan, the collagen, everything is only $29 until midnight to celebrate this huge win from my favorite team. And if you guys don't know, I live in Philly. I'm from Philly. I went to school in Philly. All the things. Hey, Michaela. So the $29 protein sale until midnight tonight, and the $29 meal plan sale until midnight tonight. Now, you're probably wondering, what is it that is ultimately holding you up from long-term success with your fat loss? And how many of you guys, hey Deidre, how many of you guys have ever had this thought where you're like, you think of the last time you got serious about your weight loss, right? Let's say that was 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, whenever it was. Could have been a month ago. The last time you got serious about it, had you just stayed the course, where would you be right by now? Where would you be by now? Do you guys understand what I mean by that? How many of you guys kick yourself and just think like, man, if I had just this, then this, if I had just stayed consistent, if I had just like stuck to it that time, like, and sometimes the days, the weeks, the months, they just passed and you just don't even realize where the time has gone, and you'd still have a six-pack. Exactly. So here's one thing, and I talked to my team on the current New Year's challenge about this, but I want to talk to you guys about this in a broader spectrum. One reason why a lot of people go in these feedback loops with weight loss. A feedback loop it's like a cycle. You go through these cycles, and if you're in one of those cycles where something goes wrong in life, it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be a fight with your significant other. It could be a health problem. Whatever it is, there is some sort of conflict that throws you off. What do people end up doing that throws them off track with the nutrition? They end up overeating in some capacity, correct? They end up overeating in some capacity. But why did they overeat? Once you understand the neuroscience of why somebody's actually overeating, you can reframe the problem and solve it in a much simpler way. The reason why when you're sad or you're stressed or you're angry or whatever is going on with you, or your feelings were hurt, whatever it is, and you're going for that drink and you are going for the cookies, the sugars, the cake, those things, right? You don't crave the thing. You crave the dopamine spike that's going to happen in your brain. And I talked about this. You guys understand what I mean? It's not the donut you want. It's not the pasta you want. It's not the cocktail you want. Those are not the actual things. Your brain wants to feel pleasure. Your brain senses pain of some sort, and your brain wants to experience pleasure. So the thing is, you have to understand that when you're going for these things, you're going for these dopamine spikes. There is good dopamine and there's bad dopamine. And understanding the difference between the two and identifying what bad sources of dopamine you tap into and how you can start to shift and transfer where you get your high from, so to speak, where you get that sensory sense of pleasure and happiness and just fulfillment within yourself. So think about this, my friends. What are some bad sources of dopamine? We could say alcohol, pornography, addictive drugs, procrastination. Procrastination actually gives you a dopamine spike that isn't very good. Sugary foods, overeating. Like, there are a lot of high risk behaviors and things that can give you a dopamine spike, but it's a very temporary band-aid approach to whatever the challenge is. Likewise, if your natural inclination is to still seek out those pleasure receptors, but you're doing it in a positive way, yes, procrastination gives you a dopamine spike, because in that instant, in that moment, you're off the hook. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, you're like, ooh, that you feel better because what you thought you were going to need to do right now is put off. It's very real. So the thing that I'm trying to say is, what are good sources of dopamine? Good sources of dopamine include laughter, exercise, music, being in nature, gardening, cuddling with a puppy, like a hug, an actual hug can spike your dopamine. There are a lot of good things, music, prayer, meditation, and I guarantee you, if we started looking and auditing where you naturally gravitate towards for your dopamine sources, if you have more bad sources of dopamine compared to good sources of dopamine, that's why you're in this feedback loop. That's why you're constantly just coming back to the same point, to the same point, to the same point. And you have to get out of that matrix mentality. You have to get out of this mentality that is not helpful to you, because you think that drinking excessive alcohol is going to make you feel better. You think that eating whatever you want, whenever you want, with no rules is ultimately going to make you feel better. It's going to ultimately make you feel like crap. Lack of boundaries isn't freedom. Lack of boundaries is chaos. It is chaos. It's chaos, my friends. And you need to stop thinking that by binge watching a show and eating whatever you want and just doing whatever you feel like whenever you feel like it, and self-medicating on things that aren't good for you, my friends, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're not. All of those things you're doing is just to numb the problem, and what's ultimately going to make you feel better is movement, eating better. Like, and I know it sounds basic, but guys, like, you need to start really asking yourself, why do I keep going in these cycles? Why do I keep getting in these cycles? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, why would you sign yourself up for that? Like, and if you're frustrated and each time you try, you get more and more frustrated to the point that, like, you go through these huge swings between, like, bingy behavior and all or nothing behavior. And neither is a solution. I think that a lot of our weight problems, yes, some of it's genetics, don't get me wrong, a lot of weight issues and obesity challenges and hormonal challenges, some of them are genetic, but a lot of them are all rooted in our mental health. And I'm going to say that because your mental health sets the foundation for your ability to properly care for yourself. And I don't care what your measurements are, what your body fat percentage is, like how good you look to the universal standard of the world. If you're not okay in here, nothing's going to be okay. And I think we all know that inherently. I think we all know that in our hearts and in our minds. But mental health, good mental health, making good choices and choosing good dopamine sources for yourself. And Michaela says, it's so true. When I'm happy upstairs, things fall in line. You guys, that mental health, that stability, that, because I notice my clients that struggle the most are folks who have a lot of instability in their life. And instability can look a lot of different ways. Instability isn't just financial, instability could be emotional, instability could be just a lot of different factors. So I think that getting yourself to a point where you're saying, I'm going to choose self-care, I'm going to choose self-love, I'm going to choose good sources of dopamine, because it's going to stimulate my brain in the same positive way. But these sources of like gardening, walking in nature, prayer, meditation, again, exercise, motion impacts emotion, singing, playing with a dog, like cuddling, like these are all healthy things that are going to better you in the long run. So the reason why I'm bringing all of this up, my friends, is I cannot overemphasize the importance of solid mental health as the foundation for solid mental health is the foundation for your fat loss success in the future. So you guys, to bring this full circle, I am so excited because of the Eagles win, and you guys know that. But tonight is the last night to get in on my 24-hour flash sale. I have lost my mind and I've discounted everything just to congratulate the Eagles and any of my other fans out there. Oh boy, we got some Giants fans. And with that being said, I appreciate the engagement and the watch time on the post, everyone who's commenting crazy stuff. While you guys are here, can you guys just give the live stream a thumbs up? Take 2 seconds. I think you have to go to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and hit the 3 dots to get to the thumb. But find that thumb and click it for me, please. Now, the $29 protein sale, these are $99 proteins. They end at midnight. I've marked all of my proteins off. All of my meal plans, $29 until midnight tonight. So we're going to be celebrating all week long. But guys, this 24-hour sale ends tonight. So enjoy those savings, my friends. And I do have our next 42 Hard Challenge coming up on March 3rd. It goes from March 3rd to mid-April, 6 weeks. And 42 Hard is an annual challenge I only host once a year. It is the strictest, hardest challenge that I do. However, it is intended to be one of those challenges where you push yourself to a higher level. And with the 42 Hard Challenge, you will be receiving a sample menu that is customized to your macros and the answers in your questionnaire for every phase. The challenge changes every 2 weeks with different macros, and you'll get a different sample menu with each set. The next thing is it comes with workouts, our weekly group Zoom call, and the winner of this challenge gets flown out to Philadelphia to spend the day with me and be in a fitness photo shoot. You'll be getting your hair done, makeup done, wardrobe done. You'll be getting professional photos. And you'll be staying here in one of our nicest hotels in the city of Philadelphia. And you will get to have dinner with me as well for the ultimate VIP glow up transformation for the grand prize winner of the 42 Hard Challenge. So guys, if you want to get in on that, you only have 1 more week to sign up. So don't miss out on that. But guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. I appreciate it. Go Birds. And again, gaugelife.com for the $29 protein until midnight, and gaugegirltraining.com to get set up with your meal plan. If anyone has a question about what plan is best for them, please make sure to shoot me a DM on Instagram at gaugegirltraining. So take care, everybody. Enjoy the savings. And did you miss the walking challenge celebration? I did post it in the Team Gauge Girl group. So thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.